Now, in a previous video, we learnt that we can rewrite an exponential equation, say the exponential equation of a to the power of c is equal to b. That we can rewrite this exponential equation in logarithmic form. So if we were to rewrite this in logarithmic form, this is the equivalent of saying that we've got the log with base a of b is equal to c. Well, what happens if we're dealing with an exponential function that has a base of e? For instance, let's say that we're dealing with the base of e to the power of c is equal to b. Well, we can rewrite this in logarithmic form to say that we have the log of base e of b is equal to c. We're essentially just rewriting this, but our base is the value of e. It's the natural exponential now. Now, in this situation, all of our log laws and everything still applies, but when we have a logarithmic with the base of the natural exponential, we call this the natural log, and we actually rewrite it differently. When we're dealing with the natural log, instead of writing the log of e, we just simply write ln, and that's standing for it's the natural logarithm. So an equivalent statement of this one here would be to say it's the natural log of b is equal to c. These two here are equivalent statements. Now, because the natural logarithm is just a normal logarithm with the base of e, all our log laws still apply. So we can rewrite our log laws in terms of the natural logarithm. So for example, our first log law of the natural logarithm of m plus the natural logarithm of n. So if we're adding these two together, that can be rewritten as the natural logarithm of m multiplied by n. If we're subtracting the natural logarithm, so if we're subtracting the if we've got the natural logarithm of m, we subtract the natural logarithm of n, that can be written as the natural logarithm of n divided by n. And of course, our power law here applies as well. If we've got m multiplied by the natural logarithm of n, this can be rewritten as the natural logarithm of m raised to the power of n. So given this, we can actually use the same logarithm laws to simplify expressions. So let's give some examples. Let's say I had the natural logarithm of 6 and I added it with the natural logarithm of 3. Well, this would be our first log law in here. So when we've got this, we would need to keep the natural logarithm, but we're going to multiply these two values here. So this would be the natural logarithm of 6 times 3, which of course the natural logarithm of 6 times 3 is 18. And if you wanted to find out what value this was, you could put it into your calculator. There is a natural logarithm button on most scientific calculators. So let's have a look at another one. Let's say I've got the natural logarithm of 100 and I subtract it with the natural logarithm of 4. Well, using this second log law here, we can rewrite this to say this is equal to the natural log of 100 divided by 4. Of course, 100 divided by 4 is 25, so this simplifies the natural log of 25. Moving on to a third example, if I had the natural log of 7 subtract 1. Now this one here can be a little bit tricky if you're just looking at this to begin with, but we can treat it as if we've got the log of e with the base of e to the b and use that same principle that we did in our last video. So what I want to do here first is I want to write this value of 1 in terms of what it would be with a base of e. So let's keep this natural log of 7 at this stage. And what we learnt in a previous video is we can rewrite this value to be the natural log. All right, we've got to keep the base of what this is. Now that base at the moment is e, but we're going to raise it to the power of what's here, so the power of 1. So the value of 1 is the equivalent of the natural log with the base of e raised to the power of 1. Once we've got this, we can now apply this logarithmic law here. So we're going to keep the natural log, we're going to do 7 here, divided by e to the power of 1. Now e to the power of 1 is just e. So I'm essentially going to be dividing by e. Now 7 divided by e doesn't go nicely, so this here is in simplest form. Once again, you could probably put it in a calculator if you wanted to find the exact value of this, but this is just an example of how we can use the same log laws that we learnt previously when we've got a base of e, which we call the natural logarithm.